beautiful prairie day in southern Saskatchewan. We're at the Yorkton Airport and it's drag racing on maxTV Local On Demand. Hi again, everyone. I'm Devin Haru alongside Mike Nowosielski. And Mike, we are right into it. A great day of racing ahead.
Yes, you're correct. Usually an airport, today it's a drag strip. We're going to start out with our the Sportsman class. We've got Colin Baum with the Corvette up against our friend Joel Polzer with the Ford Mustang. Now with the Sportsman class, these cars should run anywhere from 8:49 to 7:50 in the 8th mile. Devin, we've got to clarify, a lot of drag racing is done in quarter mile. These guys are running 8th mile here, so we're watching the Christmas tree activate.
And it looks like an early start.
Well, it's an early finish as well. We've seen the red eye on the Mustang, so the car's on the trailer. Polzer is out of the next round of eliminations in Sportsman.
Look at that replay here, and it's a good point to make, Mike, that 8th mile, of course, you are the voice at Saskatchewan International Raceway. That is a quarter mile, so these will be faster times today, obviously, for viewers watching at home.
It will. All right, well, we're going to talk about carbon footprint real quick here, Devin. These diesels, watch the black smoke coming out of the back end. Going up against Rushane Motorsports, that's right. That is Greg Hall with the Mustang. And Mr. Hall takes the win. Once again, drag racing, we know, is handicap bracket racing. You have to beat your competitor, but you cannot run faster than what your truck is allotted for or the elapsed time. So what happened was the diesel truck said it was only going to do the 8th mile in a certain time. It went faster, so he is disqualified.
Breaking out. Okay, let's take a look here in the left lane. We're looking at Kevin Barris, and in the right lane we have Jeff McDonald.
That's right. We got Mopar versus Ford this round. And we'll watch a Christmas tree. You see the top bulbs. That's the pre-stage and stage. Both bulbs are lit. The Christmas tree is activated.
About 80 cars here in today's event. We'll take you from start to finish, and you'll see Jeff McDonald moving on. A right lane win, Mike.
That's right. As you see, it's about mid-track and the Mustang pulling away on the Mopar, so good run for McDonald. He's in the next round of eliminations in Sportsman.
Great job by our crew here in Yorkton to give us these replays. Of course, you're watching this drag racing from Yorkton, Saskatchewan. We're at the airport, so you call it the Yorkton International Raceway.
You got her. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a good old friend, Don Kachuk, with the old Dodge Aspen. He's going up against New School. We're talking, that's a front-wheel drive car here, Devin. It's an SRT4, so you got rear wheel versus front wheel, and guess what? Kachuk's on the trailer, so Baxter's on the next round, eliminations.
Bruce Baxter from Melville, Saskatchewan. Take a look at this replay here, pulling away with the win. Again, this is an 8-mile track. A lot of people accustomed to that quarter mile out of Saskatchewan International Raceway. They get down there in a hurry, don't they?
They do. All right, I like this next parent. How often do you see this? A 66 AMC Rambler. It's Mike Andrusko out of Stennin, Saskatchewan. He's going up against Doug Harushka out of Yorkton, one of the Kambusters members. So we've got Camaro versus Rambler. And at the top of the 8th, it is a breakout with the Camaro, so Mr. Andrusko gets put into the next round of eliminations with the 66 Rambler.
Mike, how many of these guys would you know? How many of these cars would we see at Saskatchewan International Raceway? It's a tight racing community in this province.
Actually, that's a good question. Actually, Mike Andrusko was an instructor, so every season opener, he would bring a crew of high school students down to SIR, and they would all test drive this car.
Very cool.
But he hasn't done it for the last few years. All right, there's Sherry. She's our starter at SIR, giving a hand here today.
That's
with
great.
The Kambusters. Yep.
Talks more about the community. We've got Leonard Ford here going up against Clark Strong.
You've got Mopar versus Chevelle this round, or Chevy.
Right at the top end of the track.
Well, it looks like it's Mopar. And it is Clark Strong into the next round. He's out of Rocanville, Saskatchewan. And the replay.
Little fishy off the start there.
Well, traction today was pretty good. A lot of the cars seem to be hooking fairly decent. And Mother Nature is participating with us this year.
take a look at this. I mean, this is a dream in the first round of the Sportsman class here at Yorkton Airport.
That's right. It's a 6.9 Plymouth Satellite. Brad Exner out of Kalali, Saskatchewan. He's come out with the Kambusters for a number of years. We know this car. Very clean car. The guy really spit and polish. Oh, older gentleman that really looks after his iron.
Here's a question: how much of a break is it for a racer early in the day to get this by, work out some of those kinks? Obviously, test and tune. You get those free passes earlier, in the day, but now you get another free run.
Exactly. But after this, he will not have another bye run. So it does make the field a little bit even. So yeah, he's got one extra time slip here. So if the environment changes a little bit, the cars get a little bit faster, may want to change the dial in. So there, you got a dial in of a 760. Brad broke out, so he'll probably want to shave that number for the next round. He was dialed in, I believe, at 765. So 5/100ths of a second too quick.
Obviously, we are moving along here in Yorkton onto the Pro Class, Mike.
That's right. We've got a guy that comes up to SIR on a regular basis. It's one of my favorite cars, beautiful black Dodge Charger. Of course, I'm talking about Ryan Appleby out of Regina. He's going up against Kerry Prince. He's got the 74 Chevy Vega, and Prince has been racing out with the Kambusters here for a number of years. So good to see Vega versus Mopar, Chevy versus Mopar this round.
What would we do without you in the booth?
I don't know. So here we go, both cars lined up, activating the Christmas tree.
Look at that.
Look at that. Oh yeah, there's going to be a few cars pulling the wheels here.
Great light off the line.
Yeah, Appleby was in second place in pro at SIR. Well, there we go. Look at that, a 658 runs a 670. So I'll tell you.
Again, on an 8th mile.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of these cars in pro will run 749 to 650. And then the next class will be Super Pro. But I'll tell you, what a run for Ryan Appleby.
He's going to be happy with that start here today.
And this we're going to say a few times here today. It's Mopar versus Mopar. We've got, usually it's Glenn Hendry running plumb crazy, but it's his son Matt today running it. He's out of Saskatoon going up against Darcy Bohm out of Edmonton. That's right, Barclay Westerhog, 73 Plymouth Cuda. So we got Mopar, Cuda versus Cooter this round.
And a little bit of Saskatchewan pride on the line here in Yorkton. Saskatoon racing against Edmonton. Two beautiful cars here as we get set.
So both bulbs, staging lanes around the Christmas tree are
Look out, early start off the line.
activated. That's right. That's
doesn't matter how close it is, does it?
Red light, good night. Mr. Hendry, you're on the trailer. You went 3/1000ths of a second too quick. How do you even gauge? And somebody lost the trunk lid on that one. We'll have to make sure the Zeus and Fasters are fastened for the next round. So Darcy Baum will advance to the next round.
Off the line.
All right, well, we know this car, the 64 Chevy Corvette actually is from this area. Marlon Stevens used to own this car, but actually Paul Gallagher just purchased it. And Paul's a racer out at SIR, is going up against another racer. It is actually David Graham with the Vega. So we got a different card there, I think. But no, it is Dave Graham with the Vega versus the 64 Corvette, Paul Gallagher.
A lot of power in these cars right here, and look at this.
Well, it's a double red light on this one, Devin, so whoever had the slower elapsed time would lead first. They disqualified first. So this round, it looks like it'll go to the Vega here.
So again, Mike, we're looking at that, and we're seeing both red lights, and of course, as you said, it's, I mean, for lack of a better word, term, you screwed up less in that case.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jack Maxima from Yorkton, driving the 71 Plymouth Duster. He's going up against Barry Lipchuk from Escla, Saskatchewan, 67 Chevelle. And boy, oh boy, you want to talk muscle car versus muscle car. A lot of beautiful cars here this weekend here at Yorkton.
Beautiful day, beautiful conditions for this, and look at this, finally a race without somebody leaving early. It's gonna Come right down to the top end of the track. A good look at it right there, Mike.
It was a clean start, and it's Mr. Lipichuk with the 67 Chevelle with the win.
Pulling off the line.
But you can see traction not a problem here, Devin. Both cars pulling,
I was
front
gonna say
wheels
that.
off the ground.
And we should know, obviously they run this event here at the airport every year here in Yorkton. Is that ever a concern, Mike? I know you've been out here in the past.
Actually, the wildest thing is watching the cars make the 8th-mile run and seeing an airplane land or actually take off. It's still a live run.
Where can you see that? Only in Yorkton, Saskatchewan.
All
We're
right.
looking at Ian Jans here going up against Rob Kobsar.
That's right. We've got, I believe, Theodore, Saskatchewan versus Lanigan, Saskatchewan. And
It's going to win.
Ian Jans, yes, another competitor at SIR on a regular basis as well. Sparky, he calls himself. He calls the car high voltage. And I'll tell you what, this guy has been drag racing at SIR for a number of decades. So, right, we've got Malibu versus, I believe, Malibu. It's Frank Bahazoff. He's a Kambuster out of Yorkton. Frank, sponsored by Napa Auto Parts and Agritactics Agronomy. He's going up against another SIR competitor. Was a track announcer for a number of years, too. I call him Jaster of Disaster, Murray Jaster, with the 81 Chevy Malibu.
Look out. Looked like an early start, and it is right off the line.
Well, red light, good night. So the win will go to Frank Bahazoff as Murray Jaster, 9 1/1000ths of a second of a red eye. Just left a little too quick. There you see, right there. Green was not activated. You see the bulb.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of this here today, Mike. Nerves? What is it? Different
Well,
venue? What's going on here?
I don't know. But it's a lot of times settled on the starting line.
I can tell you,
All right.
in our family, talked about a lot of close red lights. You can believe that.
All right, we've got another rare car. You don't see a lot of these anymore. 77 Chevy Monza. Kevin Lorenz out of Pence, Saskatchewan, going up against another competitor out at SIR, Robin Graff from Regina Beach. He's got a 67 Nova Chevy, a 406 cubic inch Chevy big block inner. And that is a clean start on the line.
Start this time. Keep a close eye at the top end of the track here.
And
Graff pulling it off.
That's right. Look at that, a 630 on a 625. So 5 100ths of a second. I think I'd keep that number.
I think you're okay right there, Mr. Graff. Great replay by our crew here in Yorkton today. Ideal conditions for this race. The main event out here.
All right, our next pair on the starting line, Storage Depot lane. It is Norm Dunsmore out of Yellowgrass, Saskatchewan. He's going up against the car. Frank Lloyd's behind the wheel today, but Arnie Josephson and Frank Lloyd own the vehicle. Watch the starting line. That blue Barracuda loves to launch hard.
Look out.
Here comes the wheels up.
Early start.
But unfortunately, we got the red eye, so the win goes to Mr. Norm Dunsmore.
Take a look, a nice shot there. Tight, see those tires rippling here at the airport. And again,
There we go.
none of it mattered.
Right on the starting line. Well, we got Mustang versus Mustang. Both these guys as well race at SIR. Take a look at Brandon Bennett. He's got the kind of the brown and black. That guy likes to leave and launch on the back wheels for a little bit. He's going against our good friend Lawrence Campbell out of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Another competitor out at SIR, but watch the starting line. This is going to blow you away.
All right. Big expectations here. Look at that. Awesome.
Well, Bennett runs with a bunch of guys with Mopars out of the Regina area, so he thought, no, they're going to get the Ford doing that as well. And to be quite honest, I think Brandon's actually making the Mopar guys look a little bad. Uh-oh, I'm going to pay for that one later, but look at that launch.
Back end almost touches there too, doesn't it?
Almost. They call them bumper grinders down in the States. A big honor if you can grind the bumper without going over.
A fine line, no doubt. All right, moving on here at the Yorkton Airport. Mike, what are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at Curtis Reinheimer, 91 flat black primer Chevy Camaro, going up against one of the guys I was talking a little bit earlier, Mopar. He's loving
Sherry's down there right now. I
just
don't know what she's
The front window, the window has to be all the way up, so that way you're ready for racing, no air or anything. This is one of the Mopar gangs. Once again, Ken Daly, another gentleman that loves to launch and ride the back wheels there. This round,
lights here off the line. It'll come
109
down to the top end of the track. Take a look at this.
And it's a breakout. So Ken Daly runs a 6.4, well, double breakout, but who broke out least takes the win. So Daly has a shot at the next round, and we'll definitely look at the time slip and use that number maybe for the next round of eliminations.
Ken Daly moving on out of Regina, Saskatchewan. All right, look at this.
Well, look at Fifi. That's right, Bernie Pfeiffer. That's right, Outcast Racing. Exactly. You say SIR, we know Bernie Pfeiffer. Good to see 1969 AMC AMX. And he's got a single pass here, so either a competitor broke, but I do believe it was a buy run. So he'll get one, but that's it. He's put into the round, the next round of eliminations. He will have a competitor.
Out at SIR. Maybe I haven't been around enough.
Well, he's brought it out, but this is the first time I've seen it out this year. He red lighted right on the beginning there, but he ran a 7:05 on a 7:03 dial-in. I think Mr. Pfeiffer's on his game here today.
All right, let's take a look at the replay here. Bernie Pfeiffer pulling off the line there. And we'll see him at the top end of the track here. Mike, how much space do they have down there once they cross that line?
They got a bit of space, but then they've got to really start hammering on the brakes, because like I say, the other end is a live runway. All right, we've got Cliff Horn. Guy, well, he ran out at SIR, but actually he's stationed out of Yorkton now, so he's running the Chrysler Daytona down the 8 mile, going up against another guy that's run out at SIR, and I'll tell you what, boy, he has trouble looking over that scoop.
Look at those lights right off the line.
Rick Brown, and look at that, an 005.
You're going to win a lot of races with those lights.
You can tell he's running a lot of times. A 591 and a 590 dial-in. Mr. Brown, you're in the next round.
Take a look at this replay, top end of the track. Right there.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, we've got a couple of competitors from SIR once again, and Stan Hebert last week ran a 7:03 at 199 miles an hour with that roadster at SIR down the quarter mile, going up against Scotty Yaremko, where Yaremko ran a 5:71, so a 4:63. Kind of translate the quarter mile for Stan Hebert. He was kind of all over the track. If you watch him,
yeah,
Stan's got a little bit of driving ahead of him there.
Is that traction issues there or what?
A little bit, but you know what? These guys keep stepping it up, so they want to see what the car's made out of. But that round. All right, we got Kambuster Brad Bludoff out of Yorkton with the Ford Mustang going up against a guy from Emerald Park, Saskatchewan, another SIR racer, Jack Appleby. That's right, we know Ryan Appleby. Well, who's dad?
The bloodline.
There we go, that's right. Family racing, first generation Appleby.
There you go. Again, ideal conditions for this race here in Yorkton. Devin Haru alongside Mike Nowosielski. Great to be with you all. We're on maxTV, local on demand. Settle in. A great day of racing here in southern Saskatchewan. Here we go.
Well, it's a red eye for the white Mustang. So Jack Appleby will take the win. Let's take a look. Appleby a 6:25 on a 6:24 dial-in. That's 1/100th of a second difference. I think Jack's on his game here today.
The Applebys dialed in here in Yorkton this afternoon.
Brad's on the trailer, unfortunately.
Great look at this race right here. Of course, red light, as you say, Mike.
Right at the starting line. Well, Mopar versus Mopar once again. We've got Mark Bennett out of Regina, Saskatchewan, or Emerald Park. He's going up against Lyle Honeysett out of Yellowgrass, Saskatchewan. So we've got shock treatment. That's Honeysett. Going up against Bennett. Double red lights. So the win goes to Mr. Bennett as Lyle Honeysett left a little bit too soon. And it was over at the starting line.
There.
Double. Oh.
Looked like it was green. Good
It's green.
Whatever the case, he's moving on.
All right, well, you can see some of the cards there. It's getting a little windy out here. All right, Kambuster, Gary Schmidt, Lunatic 2, that's right. 72 Chevy Vega. He's sponsored by Yorkton Distributors, West Camp Bulk, B&K Trucking, Hot Rod Shop, Campbell Auto Body, and Yorkton Concrete. He's going up against Mike Chevrolet, a beautiful Camaro out of the Esterhazy area. Another guy that comes up to SIR once in a while. And I understand that's quite a haul for Esterhazy all the way to Saskatoon. But it is, oh, looks like something's not right on that run. So Chevrolet takes the win, but he breaks out. Look at that, by 3/1000ths of a second. Runs a 60 with a 7 on a 61 dial-in.
As we get another look at this replay here, looks like there were some issues there.
There was. All right, we got Bad Girlfriend. That's right, Leanne Marin. Savage Racing, Insomnia Racing. That's right, Skippy Zazula, our track manager, on hand here, giving a hand with the Kambusters. So Leanne's going up against the Door Slammer. That's Lloyd Krekowicz out of Regina. And I'll tell you what, a beautiful 97 Chevy Cavalier. And look at that, top end. It is Krekowicz. As Leanne Marin, oh boy, breaks out by 1/100th of a second. I believe ran an 8:07, dialed in at an 8:08. 1/100th of a second too fast.
Yeah, and you know, again, we'll remind our viewers this is an 1/8 of a mile, this track here, and for a lot of these racers, you know, they're trying to calibrate properly with that being the case here.
All right, well, I like when we got female racers. Amy Hung out of Yorkton. She's got the 2004 Dodge Neon SRT4.
Hometown.
That's right, going up against Jason Marks out of Regina. He's got the Scion. So that's, well, Toyota based. So we got import versus import on this round.
Okay, well, let's watch this one.
Reaction times, well, 110 to a 132.
Can Amy make up that time, though?
It's top of the 8th. And it is Mr. Jason Marks with the win.
So Jason is going to move on. We'll take a look at this again. Little slow off the line for both, but Jason maintains that lead and is able to beat Amy to the top end of the track.
All right, we've got Ford versus Chevy this round. It is Camaro versus Mustang. It's the 98 Chevy Camaro out of Southeast Saskatchewan. Spencer Gross. He's going up against Matt Walker out of Melville, 86 Ford Mustang.
Not the best light off the line there.
No, 142. Wow, look at that though, breakout. So Spencer Gross takes the win.
We get a good look at all these replays here at the Yorkton Airport. And we are just moving along. Mike, I can't get over how fast these guys are making it down the track here today.
Well, we're going to call it an import, but I'll tell you what. If you knew anybody with the old, this is a 280Z. They've shoveled in a 350 Chevy engine, and boy, they fit nice in there. There's a lot of room. So we got to thank Scott Scheller from Priestville bringing up this 280 1976 Datsun with a 350 Chevy engine in it. And top end, well, what would Chevy engine powered Toyota run? 860, or it was an 863, I believe.
Beautiful car.
But nice weight transfer, everything right to the back wheels, so traction looked pretty good for the car.
All right, bring up the trucks.
Mopar versus Mopar, Dakota versus Dakota, Podolsky versus Podolsky. We got
that?
Bob against Ozzy, I guess. So we got both with 360 engines in it.
In from Manitoba.
That's right.
How about that? And we better get this right, Mike, about which one of them, which Podolsky's going to win here.
I think the Dakota truck's going to win.
Making it easy on us.
All right, OC takes the win. There we go.
That's good. All right. Oh, take a look at this right off the line. Good look there, right?
You think that's a bit of a grudge match?
I bet. Somebody's buying somebody beer after that race at the end of the day.
Especially after the race. We don't drink before the race,
Good
right?
point.
There we go. We are responsible. All right. Well, hey, a couple of Kambusters here. Or sorry, no, that's Evan Stephenson with the rare Super Coupe. Sorry, SIR competitor. I thought he was Don Katchuk, but this is a Super Coupe, only one of 500 built, 1978, going up against Greg Hull. Hull's got that Shelby GT500, Rochane Motorsports and Snow World sponsored.
Up a lot of real estate here.
Well, it's a breakout, so you know what? Greg Hull ran his number, actually slowed down it looks like, so he kind of seen what was happening, thought maybe Evan was running a little too quick, and Evan broke out. So Mr. Hull, you're in the next round.
Small margin of error here in Yorkton today. Greg Hull moving on.
All right, I believe now we're into our second round here. That's Colin Baum.
That's it.
Yes, we know him from a little bit previous earlier.
Absolutely.
With the Corvette, going up against Joel Ivey. Once again, watch the black smoke coming out of the burner box.
Sorry to those fans sitting on that side here today. A bit of a smoke show.
Well, Devin, we always know we never have a problem with mosquitoes at a drag strip.
That's it.
Uh-oh. There looks like it's a hiccup for the Corvette, but either way, this top of the 8th mile, it is. The truck, Jay Ivey, goes through it.
Another smoke show at least one more time here today, Mike.
9:57 though, on a I think it was 9:50, so he's got a lot of room to maneuver on that one.
Take a look at the replay. I'll be interested here to see what happens off the line here for Colin. Just didn't get started the way he wanted to, did he?
No, it looks like something wasn't right. So Diesel next round.
More diesel in store here in Yorkton. Take a look at this. We've got Jeff McDonald, Mike in that other lane.
Mike Andrusko out of Stennin, Stennin, Saskatchewan. There we go. Yeah, that 66 AMC Rambler. And I remember at one time nobody wanted a Rambler, but look at the car. It's actually a pretty neat looking car.
Why didn't anybody?
I don't know. AMC, they were known for making refrigerators, right? Well, it is the AMC taking the win. 813 on the 800 dial-in. Mike Andrusko, you're in the next round.
Andrusko moving on, absolutely. They might want a Rambler after today, after all. Of course, you're watching this drag racing, 1/8 of a mile at the Yorkton Airport.
All right, we remembered a little bit earlier, we got Mopar versus Mopar. Brad Exner had the bye run from Killaley, Saskatchewan. He's got the brown satellite. The other one's a Roadrunner, so I think the difference was, well, they both say Plymouth, they're both 69s. So I think maybe the Roadrunner was just an upgraded version on the satellite. I'm not a big Mopar aficionado, but on the same token, look at these cars. You don't see these cars anymore. Both prime examples of Plymouth satellites and Roadrunners here. Well, it's a red eye right off the bat, so it is done at the starting line. The win goes to Clark Strong with the 69 Plymouth Roadrunner.
Moving on.
Yeah, there's the red eye.
Brad Exner a little early off the line. His day over here at the Kambusters event in Yorkton.
That's right, the 13th annual Prairie Thunder Drag Race. That's right, congratulations to Kambusters. All right, well, we've got the SRT4 back up. Bruce Baxter out of Melville is going up against Jeremy Masonids from Stornoway, Saskatchewan. So we got Mustang versus Dodge this round. SRT4, it's a fancy name for an updated Neon.
No, the things I'm learning today.
There we go.
All right.
Well, and it is our friend with the Mustang, Mr. Jeremy. You're in the next round.
Good look at these replays. A good crew here in Yorkton making sure that track is clear for these racers here today. Well, take a look at this.
All right, we got junior dragsters here. That is Clary Thompson. She's actually out of Alberta, going up against one of our competitors here at SIR, Hardcore Performance. That's Reed Holland on the line.
Mike, again, what would we do without you? This insider information here. Take a look at this. This is where it starts. This is where the racing dream starts for these.
It does, and at SIR, it is quarter-mile racing, but actually the junior dragsters only run 1/8 mile. We shut them mid-track, but I'll tell you what, look at those times. I'll tell you what, these young ladies and gentlemen, they are drag racers, folks. They watch the reaction times. They got to know their dial-ins, and they're becoming very good racers.
Feeling right at home here on this 8-mile track here in Yorkton. Okay, we are still zipping along here. A bye for Kerry Prince. How about that?
Kerry Prince out of Churchbridge, Saskatchewan. 74 Chevy Vega, 355, so aboard out 350, approximately 450 horsepower. So activating the Christmas tree.
Kerry Prince, we should talk about this Kambusters racing group down here in southern Saskatchewan. I know you know a lot of the background.
Well,
this group.
I tell you, dedicated crew, I'll tell you, they start setting up this racetrack Saturday morning, and it has to be teared down tonight before, I think, about 9 or 10 o'clock. So these guys set this track up, tear it down. I'll tell you, their commitment is just unbelievable. So once again, congratulations to the 13th annual Prairie Thunder race. We couldn't do it without the Kambusters. All right. Well, speaking of Kambuster, Frank Pahozoff out of Yorkton, the 77 Chevy Nova, going up against our friend from Regina Beach, Robin Graff, 67 Nova Chevy. Well, they're Chevy Nova, dyslexic.
Just make it to the line first. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
All right. Tree lighting up right now, and you know, obviously as this day goes on, these racers, well, I was just going to say, a lot more dialed in. And
yeah.
Look at that, I jinxed it, Mike.
It's a red eye.
Sorry.
So Frank Pahozoff takes the win as Robin Graff red lit. That meant he left a little too early, folks, and you'll watch the Christmas tree. Didn't turn green, it went to red. And boy, oh boy, I don't think he missed it by much.
As we look at this replay and coming up this next race, I'm looking forward to this one. It should be a beauty.
Well, once again, a couple of rare cars. Beautiful black Dodge Charger out of Regina. Once again, that's Ryan Appleby going up against Bernie Pfeiffer, 69 AMC AMX out of Saskatoon. Once again, both cars regular competitors at SIR at the quarter mile.
Pfeiffer and Appleby. Pfeiffer in that storage depot lane. Appleby in the H&R block lane. Looking to move on here in Yorkton right now. Looked like a good reaction time by both drivers.
Well, look at that. 1/1000th of a second difference. That's at the top end of the eighth. Double breakout, Mr. Pfeiffer, 702 and a 704.
They were pushing each other.
They were racing. Look at the launch by Ryan Appleby, the front end coming up and down. But it is Bernie Pfeiffer in the next round, folks.
You know, Bernie's going to be happy about that. Good race there.
All right, well, Norm Dunsmore, I kind of chat with him. He used to race at SIR, but hasn't had the time to come up here. I don't know why they call it Yellowgrass, Saskatchewan. Do you have any ideas why?
Don't even
Okay, we'll leave that one alone. He's got the double nickel here. He's going up against the high voltage. That is actually Ian Jantz. Sparky, we call him, out of Flanagan. But look at that. Reaction times at 1:13, 1:22, top of the eighth.
Okay.
Well, we got David Graham, but that's actually Norm Dunsmore. So Ian Jantz in the next round. And a couple great launches once again. Traction working well.
Here.
And there they are.
There. Look at that. That is close.
That's how quick it is. All right, well, we've got a couple of Yorkton. It is David Graham going up against Darcy Baum. Baum's out of Edmonton, but it's actually Barclay Westerhog's 73 Plymouth Gouda. Running a 498 cubic inch motor, 650 horsepower, the Gouda.
Mike, when you have that much difference in the reaction time, is the race, I mean...
Well, the benefit is you can reach the top end of the track quicker. If you sleep at the line, you might run a real good time, but you had a chance to beat them a little bit sooner. So they call that a sleep at the wheel.
Yeah, and that just sets up a long road ahead.
Once again. All right, we got Chevy versus Dodge this round. Once again, take a look at the white dart. That is Ken Daly out of Regina. He's sponsored by Bennett Auto Repair, Queen City Performance, and Brock White, Canada. He's going up against Barry Lupachuk out of Oakla, Saskatchewan. There we go. I'm from Saskatoon. I got to make more times come down there to the garlic curtain. Hey, All right.
Yeah, here we go.
043 reaction time in 066. Once again, top of the 8th. And it is a breakout by Daly. Look at that. Not by much, but I'll tell you what. Our friend with the Chevelle is in the next round. Barry, good time.
Pull up the map for the next time Lipacek comes around from Oakland, Saskatchewan.
And that one back tire was off.
Good look at the replay here again. This is at the Yorkton Airport. Calling it the Yorkton International Raceway. Once a year, the transformation. A lot of fans out here today. And it looks like we are going to have another bye for another racer here.
That's right. Brandon Bennett with the single pass here. Once again, folks, he has two choices, actually, Devin. He can stage it and save it, but we got a few more rounds of eliminations here. So, oh, look at the lid come out of the back hatch there. Somebody forgot to go, but what a launch by that Mustang. And let's take a look at the time.
Good look at it there.
6:41 goes through to 6:43. 051. I think Mr. Bennett is on his game. He's there.
But take a look at this. Almost lost the whole back end there. What's it? You got the
That's the hatch.
groceries
He forgot it. I think he lost the eggs.
Now, Mike, obviously, we have a lot of cars here today. Fans, no doubt, wanting to see these racers.
Well, this
Listen to this power, eh?
Well, some of us like them, but we're in the tower at SIR. We hate the jet cars.
Hands on the glass.
Hands on the glass.
Absolutely.
Everything is falling off the walls, I'll tell you.
Charred.
We've got
shackles.
we got kind of what they call Chevy versus Ford, but not really. Now, the biggest difference about a jet car versus any other race car, these are propulsion driven, meaning they take air and they push air. The way they steer them is with a left and right brake. And I'll tell you what, in a quarter mile, these cars will run 24 gallons of fuel. So down the 8th, I would say it's got to be at close 18, 19 gallons. It's not half, but it's pretty darn close.
Well, and we should point out that they're burning canola biodiesel, the first one in the world.
Actually, Milliken biofuel, and Kevin's very proud of that because Milliken is just down the road here. And there we go. We got Craig Hartman with the Ford Mustang, and it is Kevin Terrace with the Corvette.
Now watch that end of the track there. You talked about it. A lot of space down there, but that jet engine is coming to put a couple of wings on these and they get confused for a plane out here at the airport.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure the active runway has been shut down momentarily. These cars take a lot of room to slow down. As you see, the parachutes are starting to come out. So, oh, we didn't get a time on that. All right, well, our next round, we've got Rick Brown out of Indian Head. Once again, races out at SIR. He's a farmer, so right now when harvest season kind of kicks in, he's got to pay for the ride. So, yeah, he's going to do it. There you see the white mist coming out of the hood. That's Scott Yaremko driving his dad's Glenn Yaremko 67 Acadian Canzo. They're sponsored by Brad's Oilfield Service. And boy, oh boy, Pontiac versus Chevrolet this round.
We're getting down in the racers now. It's
And look at the launches there.
Here's your Remco, Brown, top end.
Top of the 8 is a breakout. Oh my God, not by much. But it is Brown.
You were feeling the pain on that one, Mike. We know these racers. We know how they operate. We know what they think about.
They know their car. They know their car, and that's what they look at the time slips later and they say, well, how did I miss it by that much?
I think my dad, Bob Haru, still has time slips from 20 years ago.
Probably,
that
yeah.
close.
The written ones, right? The back of a business card.
Exactly.
All right, well, we've got Scion versus Chevrolet this round. Spencer Gross with the Camaro going up against Jason Marks with the Scion. And it is a red eye for the Camaro, so it looks like Jason Marks takes the win, a 151 reaction time. Let's take a look. Top of the 8th, he was dialed in at a 925, oh, 10, or no, sorry, that's Marks' time, 981 on a 970, so he kind of relaxed a little bit at the end there. So he's got a little bit of room to maneuver, they call that.
Yeah, absolutely. Room to maneuver, all right. Now these racers, because you don't have that sort of SIR scoreboard,
the win boards, yeah.
At the end, would these racers really have an idea whether or
nope,
not they're
not until they get the time slip, unless somebody, yeah, because they're not watching the Christmas tree. these guys concentrate on their own racing regime here.
Wow.
So, okay, we've got the Chevy Datsun back again. It looks like lots of single passes round. So let's say Scott Scheller, 864 and an 860 dial in, 4 100ths of a different second. Yeah, I think I take that number.
I like this car.
Oh yeah. Even the side pipes, very retro. You don't see that anymore.
So Scott Scheller is going to move on, and take a look at this.
Well, I think we got another grudge match with these guys.
Round 2, ding, 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 ding.
The Battle of Podolskis, eh? It's Bob Podolsky going up against O.C. Podolsky.
O.C. winning the first round.
Both out of Manitoba. Good to see some Manitoba racers here in Yorkton this weekend.
They are tight on this race. Again, O.C. Podolsky wins the first round. Second round.
Uh-oh, it's Bob this round. So, you know what? I'm pretty sure we might see these guys back up again.
That's great.
But either way, Dakota Ram actually won the race. Dodge Ram won. Either way you look at it. Podolsky won.
Look at it.
Now,
Podolsky
which Podolsky? I don't know.
Exactly. You've never been more right, Mike. An easy call for that last race.
I've never been more right. Well, my wife's not here this weekend. There we go. Oh, I can get away with that one, can't I?
Look out, smoke show, look out.
Yep, the carbon footband back up here again from Yorkton, Joel Ivy.
Got that canola diesel to balance this out.
Exactly. 2008 Ford F350. Well, it's red eye.
You can't even see this car down here in the other lane. Greg Hall, where are you?
It looks like Hall, but so the win goes to the truck, Jay Ivy. But boy, oh boy, look at that, eh? Just churning the black smoke. And I'll tell you what, if you like diesel racing, we are going to be at SIR the following week here. Quarter mile racing, IDP, that's right. Joe from IDP, Performance with Diesels, promoting the race. And as well, I believe we're running the Quick 32 as well for the car buffs. So, well, we're back on the starting line here. The storage depot, that's Mike Andrisco with that AMC Rambler. He's going up against Clark Strong, the 69 Plymouth Roadrunner in the H&R block lane. Wow, look at that reaction time. Good. Perfect light is an 000. 2 1,000ths of a second. I'll tell you what, Mr. Andrusco, you are on your game here, my friend.
Andrusco, moving on. That's as close as you get to a perfect race and a perfect light.
Well, and you look at the old Rambler there, they're using what they called, what the heck, they weren't ladder bars, they're actually, I can't remember what the heck they called them, but they're under the leaf spring. It is old technology for traction on that old car. Okay, looks like we had a problem and we got to rerun it. So that's what I think. Maybe the dial-ins were incorrect or something. So
smoked him out on the line. That's what the problem was. I mean, they've switched lanes here, Mike.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened on that one. You know, something was screwed up. But either way, this round, it is a rerun, and Greg Hall with the Mustang takes the win.
My goodness, that's not going to sit well.
Well, sometimes things happen on the starting line we don't understand, and then the officials, they get to hash it out. But it is Mr. Hall with the win with the Mustang.
We're going to have to look into that, but I swear Hall was smoked out on the line.
He probably couldn't see where he was going.
See where he was going. They switched lanes because of the wind direction. Anyway.
Okay, I think we got a single pass here in the H&R block lane. Jerry Mossad from Stornoway, Saskatchewan, 88 Ford Mustang.
This is in the Sportsman division here in Yorkton at the
Well,
airport.
840, 858, well, maybe want to change that number. Make it a little bit tighter.
Hot day here in Yorkton, a bit of a breeze, a headwind for these drivers here. Traction hasn't really been an issue.
No, and Mother Nature has been participating. All right, it's Brandon Bennett out of Emerald Park. Once again, watch the Mustang, folks. loves to lead the starting line on the back wheels. Going up against Kambuster Frank Pohozoff out of Yorkton, Kambuster.
See if the hatch is closed for this one.
Let's say won't lose the eggs this round, maybe.
No kidding.
Let's watch.
Bennett in that H&R block lane, Pohozoff in the storage depot lane.
Oh, there we go. Just caught the car as it came down. And what the heck, it is a perfect light.
Perfect light, but he breaks out. Oh.
And look at Bennett, 643 on a 641, 2/100ths of a second. Frank Pohozoff, almost a perfect run, perfect light, but runs a little too quick and is now disqualified.
Probably
he is on the trailer.
Budgeting for a perfect light.
None of us do. None of us do.
Aim for it every race. Okay, here we go.
Okay, we've got David Graham. He's Outcast Racing, but he's out of Yorkton. He races out at SIR. We call it the Mini Camaro or the Vega. He's going up against Ian Jantz, High Voltage out of Lanigan, running a 574 cubic inch Ford, 640 horsepower.
If memory serves me, I've seen Jantz out at SIR before.
Absolutely, the guy's been drag racing for decades out there. Sparky.
Here we go.
So it is Mr. Graham with the win.
643 on a 640 dialing. Mr. Graham is going to move on as we look at this replay here.
Yeah, look how close. Look how close that was.
I mean, some great racing now, Mike. We're getting down to it here in Yorkton. Who's next?
Well, another racer at SIR, Bernie Pfeiffer, 69 AMC AMX. He's Outcast Racing. He's going up against Barry Lubachik out of Oakland, Saskatchewan. There we go, got that right.
Okay, we got it now. We are dialed in here in the booth as we settle in nicely here in Yorkton. Take a look.
Well, it's a red eye for the Chevelle. So Pfeiffer in 0.62 reaction time reaches the top of the 8th, gets through. Look at that, a 7:05 on a 7:02. Mr. Pfeiffer, you're gonna have to earn your round next round, definitely.
He has been fortunate here today.
He's running the number.
Don't want to play with fire too many times, Bernie. Moving on here in Yorkton. I think we're going to be switching up divisions here too, Mike.
All right, looks like we're back with our juniors again. So Clary Thompson out of Alberta going up against Reed Holland again. I think it's a best out of 3. So Reed Holland hardcore performance. I think the first one went to Mr. Holland.
So here we go again. You know,
look at that.
Reaction time, pretty spectacular.
001. Like I say, these youngsters, and it is an 804 versus a 798. So a little bit of a 2 out of 3.
And that's Cleary Thompson.
And I think Cleary Thompson took the win on that one, yeah.
Beautiful reaction time. You know, a lot of credit.
And look at her, just come up, and right there.
Beautiful look there by our crew here in Yorkton. I was just going to say those parents put a lot of time and money into this, don't they?
It is, but the family aspect of it, I love it. All the families together drag racing. Well, I'll tell you, I love this matchup. We got Camaro versus Camaro. These guys are friends in the pits, competitors on the starting line. It's Mike Chevrolet out of Esterhazy. He's got the 67 in the storage depot lane. Going up against the 71 Camaro, that is Rick Brown in the H&R block.
Put on a show, gentlemen.
And look at that, 058 to an 070. Mr. Brown runs the number with the 7.
Beautiful.
And you can see the reaction time, 058 to an 070. Didn't sound like much of a difference. He got the tree. That's how he got the win.
Great look at these replays. We need them here today in this 8th mile. It's over in a blink as we roll on here in Yorkton.
All right, well, it looks like Jack Appleby on the starting line. So it looks like it's going to be a single pass for him in the H&R block. So once again, Jack's got a couple options. Stage it and save it, but you know what he's going to do. He's going to run it because he brung it. You weren't waiting for that one, were you?
I wasn't waiting for that one. Mike, let me ask you, at this point of the day, how important is it to have this by as we get later in the day?
Well, the environment kind of changes a little bit. Humidity, we've never had humidity in the prairies for over like 10, 15 years, and I'll tell you what, we feel like we're on the coast here. Look at Appleby, a 624 and a 621. Whole 3-2 reaction time. Mr. Appleby, you are there. But yes, sometimes everything changes, but they got the extra run here.
Yep.
So they are in the next round. Jack Appleby is in the next round.
He is moving on, and so are we. Getting late in the day here in Yorkton, and take a look at this. Kerry Prince right there. Good look in the eyes of the driver right there in your living room right now.
That's right. He's in the H&R block going up against, once again, Frank Lloyd. Arnie Josephson, you can see taking pictures there. Both cars launching hard, but it's a red eye. So top end of the track. It is Frank Lloyd with the win, 573. So I believe that was a little bit of a grudge match afterwards. We're running a few testers in between here, folks, letting the other cars cool off. As we progress through the eliminating rounds, cars getting less. So we like to run a few testers here and there. Another couple testers, once again. Evan Stephenson, 1 of 500 Super Coupes build. Very retro, 1978 Dodge Aspen. Going up against Kevin Lorenz out of Penn, Saskatchewan, 77 Chevy Monza.
Oh, look at that thing pull off the line.
I'll tell you, all the Monzas were 6-cylinder vehicles, except the Spider. That one came as V8. So Mr. Lorenz takes that grudge match. And look at the pull on that car.
Sunbathed here in Yorkton. Kevin Lorenz from Pence, Saskatchewan is going to move on here. All right, look at this.
All right, another little grudge match here. This will be Ford versus Mopar this round. Once again, Matt Hendry driving Glenn Hendry's Plum Crazy 73 Plymouth Barracuda. Going up against Joel Polzar. Yes, these guys got eliminated a little bit earlier, so they're doing some testing.
Why not? Takes a lot to transform an airport runway into a raceway here in Yorkton. Might as well put as much rubber down as you can.
And it takes them less than 7-8 seconds to get down the 8th mile, so hey, we can fit them in.
Why not? Good look at Hendry there in the left lane. Again, great work by our crew here on the ground in Yorkton. You're watching it all on maxTV, local on demand.
Well, this is round 2. Once again, Brad Exner. He's got the brown Plymouth Satellite.
I think it might be Einer.
Nope, it's Exner. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Exner right down there.
There you go.
Going up against Clark Strong. Yeah, Brad Exner has competed for a number of years at the Kambusters race, and I'll tell you what, it's always a pleasure to see that car. So 730 versus a 725. That one was right at the timing, right at the starting line. Brad Exner left the line first. Even though the other car had a faster time, he reached the top end sooner.
Well, we're going to get another chance to see him, and I'm not going to correct you anymore. Learn my lesson.
All right, Stan Hebert once again with the 23T altered. Word is he was gunning for Sherry Bodnerchuk, is the current track record holder here with an alcohol funny car. Once again, Stan posted a 703, 199 miles per hour down the quarter mile at SIR.
Okay.
So if he can hook up and make this the performance horsepower hook on this track, he has a chance to take the track record here.
This is a big deal right now.
So that is Reed Holland, Ray Holland. They're guiding him back to the starting line, folks. If you're new to drag racing, what you've seen is Stan Hebert putting some hot rubber on the track. What they're doing is guiding him back on that hot rubber. That is the best traction you can get. You're going to see a white mist coming out of the scoop here shortly. That is the nitrous system. So he's got throttle, he's got bottle. And I'll tell you what, that is instant horsepower just by pressing a button.
And going for a track record here.
Stan Hebert.
All eyes on Stan.
And watch the car launch. I'll tell you what, it's always a pleasure watching Stan at SIR.
There's some anticipation here right now. Watch that tree.
Look at the car take off, but ooh.
Hold on there.
Once again, had to do some drop. 498.
Left a little early,
Yeah.
but hovering around that track record.
And Bondarchuk, I believe, was a 477. So yes, there is a few vehicles out here today, and everybody would love to hold those bragging rights.
Looked like it got a little dangerous there. A little bit of squirrely action there at the top end of this 8th mile.
All right, and Cliff Horn says, you know what, I'm going to let Stan go by himself. He's going to make a pass with this 87 Chrysler Daytona. Cliff out of Delmany, Saskatchewan, just outside of Saskatoon.
Nice to see this province well represented here today.
There is people from all parts of this province, so great. A lot of people from SIR, and you know, same as Kambusters. These guys have helped us on our cruise weekend, so we can't say enough. The car club brought 17 members one year to the drag race, so I'll tell you what, 17 racers, yes, they're all gearheads out here in Yorkton. I love it.
Pretty storied stuff out here, that's for sure.
All right, we're back into eliminations again. Mike Andrusko once again, Stennin, Saskatchewan, 1966 AMC Rambler. He's going up against Jeremy Masodins from Stornoway, Saskatchewan, 88 Ford Mustang.
We are getting down to it. Look at that reaction time.
Wow, 006, so 6/1000ths of a second. And it is a breakout.
Yep.
So Mike Andrusko, you are in the next round with the Rambler.
Close. But you know what they say about that, especially in this sport. And Andrusko is going to move on here. As you said it, Mike, we are back in the elimination round. A lot of these racers catching their breath.
Okay, looks like it's just a single pass here for Greg Hull. He's a member of the Kambusters, you know, and he's in the booth here working with us, folks. And when he gets a minute, then he's ready, his turn to run. That's what the Kambusters want to do. They want to run in front of their home crowd, right? So Greg Hall gets through, runs a 788 on a 780. He's sponsored by Snow World and Racine Autosport.
So not many people left here in the Sportsman division.
No, we are getting down to the numbers here.
And of course the excitement builds.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I like this pairing here. Both racers at SIR. Bernie Pfeiffer, first time out this year with the 69 AMC AMX, and I'll tell you what, the car's working for him. Once again, watch this Mustang here, Devin. Loves to pull the front wheels, likes to ride the back wheels, I would say close to 60 feet.
You got to remember, Mike, the last time we said Bernie had some work to do with his dial in. We'll see if he adjusted it here and is going to run on the number right now.
All right, waiting for the last staging bulbs to be, there we go, both yellows, both sides, the timing system active. It is a red eye, so Pfeiffer is done.
Both of them.
Both of them, that's right, but Brandon Bennett will take the win. Let's take a look. Runs a 643 with an 8 on a 643. Does he know his car? I think he's doing okay.
Obviously a fan favorite here, the way he pulls it up. I don't know what happened to Bernie on this one. He's not even in our frame.
Bernie, I think, hey, calm down. Why wreck the car? The run is the run. He already seen the red eye. All right, and David Graham, Outcast Racing out of Yorkton. Atlas Aggregates, well, he's got the bye run. Let's take a look what he does down the H&R Block Lane. Good reaction time, an 0.21 as he makes his way down the 8th. Top end, Devin, he gets, look at that, a 642 on a 640 and 0.21 light. David Graham, he is doing just fine.
Keep it right there, David. In good shape here. And again, this is a pro division, getting to the end of this as well.
We are.
I believe we're out of the elimination rounds again.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of grudge matching here. We've got the 1970 Chevy Chevelle out of Yorkton, Leonard Ford. He's going up against another gentleman out of Yorkton. It's the Dodge Ram, 2007 Dodge 3500, Terry Tadusi. And it is Mopar this round. The truck is 769, something not right with the Chevelle.
Take a look here, see if we can spot it off the line. Didn't even really ever leave, did it?
Nope.
That was Leonard Ford on the line. Tatusi with a nice pass here. All right, here we go.
And another test pass. This is Frank Lloyd once again, one of the owners with Arnie Josephson. There you see Arnie in the back there with the orange shirt, taking a look. Arnie definitely pulls the wheels a little bit better, but you know what? It's the first time I've seen Frank Lloyd actually drive the car. Look at that launch, folks. Definitely stepped it up on that round. Maybe they did nitrous that round. 561 down the 8th. Wow.
Look out at the top end there. No wonder he had the...
And look at that. And that's what we look in. The wheelie bars activated, putting the front end, and a little bit of wheel shake. But you know what? It straightened out pretty quick once it got down there. Good run by Frank Lloyd. All right, another test pass. That's Colin Bong going against Doug Harushka. So we've got Kambuster versus Kambuster.
These guys are having fun.
We're having a grudge match. I like this.
No kidding.
Chevy wins either way. Well, some of the Mopar guys, you know that. You got to be impartial to these guys,
All
you
right,
know.
objective reporting here up in the booth. Devin Haru alongside Mike Nowoselsky. Mike, it's great to be here with you. Obviously, a big event out here in Yorkton, and I know a lot of people in the area always marking this weekend on their calendar.
Well, once again, 13th annual Prairie Thunder Kambuster race. And you know what? They do this only once a year, folks. So I'll tell you, their dedication to the sport is unbelievable. Well, I like this when the ladies come out and race. Amy Hong out of Yorkton, 2004 Dodge SRT, going up against the Camaro Spencer Gross, Saskatchewan. So another grudge match here.
And top end, Spencer.
Camaro through to 924 at 77 miles per hour.
4343. Congratulations.
We are getting down to it here. Ideal conditions in southern Saskatchewan for drag racing on maxTV, local on demand. That's Spencer Gross winning that race over Amy. Okay, here we go.
All right, we're back into elimination rounds here. We've got the 350 Chevy, 76 Datsun 280Z. That's Scott Scheller out of Priestville, Saskatchewan. Going up against the 2013 Scion out of Regina. That's Jason Marks.
And this is a street legal, right, Mike?
It is.
Okay.
So I believe it's front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive.
A red light.
Well, that's not a good one. So I think our friend with the Datsun is out. Scott Scheller. Yeah, red eye goodbye. So it is Jason Marks into the next round.
Take a look. Right there. The video doesn't lie. Neither does the light, Mike. Jason Marks is going to move on in the street legal division.
All right, now we are into our Sportsman final. That's right. It is Greg Hall going up against Mike Andrusko. So I'm going to say old versus new on 66 AMC.
I think that's fair.
Going up against the brand new, 2016 Shelby GT500.
Again, this is a final race in the Sportsman division, and oh no,
It's
we
over.
just talked about it, didn't we?
We did. So today's winner, congratulations, Greg Hall, takes the win, and he backed off as well. Once again, sponsored by Snow World and Racine Autosport. Definitely wants to thank his sponsors. But, oh yeah, you can see
Yeah.
even the Mustang seemed like it had a hiccup, so maybe it was a good hiccup at the right time.
You better believe it.
Looks like Greg Hall was chomping at the bit to go down the track.
Greg Hall's our winner here today in the Sportsman as we're getting down to it here.
Okay, I believe we got another grudge match right now. This is, once again, Frank Lloyd, 67 Plymouth Barracuda. Well, we've seen the previous couple runs and then the previous run. Let's see what he does for the last pass of the day here with that blue 67 Plymouth Barracuda. Going up against the Daytona, that is Cliff Horm out of Delmany, Saskatchewan. And there's a nice launch. There we go. And it's a red eye, so this grudge match is over already. Cliff Horn, 570 though for Frank Lloyd, 117 miles down the 8th mile, not quarter.
That's a good reminder. Some of our viewers at home might be looking at these times and scratching their head and thinking, They must be setting track records. Of course, those guys giving these guys a breather here.
All right, well, this one is
Pro Division.
That's right, Outcast Racing, David Graham. We call it the Mini Camaro. He's got the Vega going up against Brandon Bennett out of Emerald Park, Saskatchewan, 92 Ford Mustang. Wow, what a matchup. Once again, watch the starting line, folks.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch Bennett pull those wheels up time and time again here today, and he's done it one more time. He left her.
And this is a seasoned drag racer, so it's a red eye. Today's winner.
What is that, Mike? All 3 final races, 3 red lights.
3
You talked
red
about
lights,
the
yeah.
numbers.
Well, that was a big one. An 036. Bennett usually, a couple thousandths of a second.
Forgivable.
036, yeah, well, that one was a little too quick. So congratulations, Mr. David Graham out of Yorkton, today's winner.
Hometown hero today.
In pro.
He's a happy customer coming down. Take a look right here. Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Mr. Bennett.
Did you notice Bennett when he pulled that the Mustang, how clean that undercarriage looked?
Beautiful.
Looks good.
He ran every race he possibly could here today. Get the
Okay.
result he wanted. Here
This
we
is
go.
Super Pro Final, and I'll tell you, once again, a couple races out of Saskatoon. Jack Appleby out of Emerald Park, Saskatchewan, going up against Rick Brown, Indian Head. So it's a Southern Saskatchewan final here in Yorkton.
All right. Jack and Rick.
And we've got a clean start. Look at that. This is a drag race. 031 to 037.
Ben, Mike.
It is Jack Appleby. Look at that. Runs his number with a 7.
That's good racing.
So, and I'll tell you what, that name, I should have been up on the podium a long time ago. I've seen this guy race for years. Congratulations, Jack Appleby. You've done it today.
What a great race. Look at that. Great shot. I mean, that is as even as it gets. But today, there had to be a winner. And Jack Appleby wins the Super Pro Division. Okay.
All right. They've been waiting for this guy. Jim Atwell out of Calgary, Alberta, sponsored by Lucas Oil and Carbon Capital Corporations. These guys fired it up a little bit earlier today. And I'll tell you what, there's alcohol blowing, then there's top alcohol. What a snappy motor this thing is.
Potential for a track record here.
I think he was talking about it as well. He's been struggling, though. They did a bunch of thrashing on the motor last night.
Okay.
And like I say, when they fired it up first thing in the morning, it actually sounded really good. Still a few concerns, but it's all about the tune-up here. And if you can harness that horsepower, get it traction right onto the ground, we could see a record-breaking run here today by Jim Atwell. And he calls it
Alberta, yeah.
Scarlet Fever, he calls himself.
Okay, air traffic control here in Yorkton at the airport. Get ready.
Well, best run down a quarter mile, he says 621 at 219 miles an hour.
Wipe those tires off too.
Yeah, absolutely. Maximum traction here, folks.
Look at the people all gathered around there, got their ears plugged. You better believe it. A loud machine getting ready
Very
to tear
loud.
up this 8th mile here at the Yorkton International Raceway is what we're calling it up here. Of course, the Kambusters 13th annual main event here in Yorkton, Saskatchewan as we buckle in for Jim Atwell out of Calgary, Alberta. Scarlet Fever.
All right, East stage ready to go. Running a 588 cubic inch big block Chevy 1471 SSI supercharger down the 8th mile. Top end, let's take a look. Ooh, 460,
Wow.
150 miles an hour.
They have to be happy about that after some of those
Oh,
engine
absolutely.
problems you talked about.
And look at the car. You can see it's still on the ground, but it is going up and down, sometimes lifting. And right at the end there, yes, maximum horsepower right through the top end. And once again, it is Prairie Gold, Craig Hartman with the Prairie Gold Mustang. And Kevin Terrace, I'll tell you what, this guy has drag raced alcohol funny cars, door slammers. There we see the afterburners. Here we go, down the stretch, down the 8th. And the word is they want the track record.
What do we got? Top end numbers are going to tell us a story here.
And it is Craig Hartman, new track record here.
Track record.
A 443. Congratulations, Prairie Gold. You are now the new track record holders here in Yorkton with the jet car, taking it away from Sherry
179
Bodnarchuk.
miles an hour. It's a good thing they got this racing. You can see the clouds coming, and a beautiful scene here, setting a track record. Mike, what a day here at the Yorkton Airport. We had a track record. We had a great day of racing here in Yorkton at the airport, Mike. Some beautiful shots. Look at this. Great work by our crew here on the ground.
Well, once again, Devin Haru, what a great day of drag racing in southern Saskatchewan. Once again, great time announcing with you. Look forward to working with you again.
As we take a look at some of the final shots here on the ground, the 13th annual Kambusters main event at the Yorkton Airport on maxTV Local On Demand. I'm Devin Haru. Mike Nowosielski, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Devin.
And our entire crew. A great day of racing. We'll see you next time.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sasktel.com.